Good evening, good evening. Indeed, Johan, we are lights, camera, and action. Welcome, everybody, to the live stream. Good evening. Hope you're all well. Hope you're having a good week. We've got lots to do tonight, so we're going to get right into it. Just to give you a quick update, because obviously that's why you are on the live stream, to catch up with what's been going on. I have completed all of my figures for the Very British Civil War, or certainly the ones that I've been working on. I have started on this chap, and we're going to do some quick work on him this evening. But once we've done that, we're going to jump very quickly into the next bit that I need to be getting done. And I'm rather hoping that you can help me out, because I'm a bit unsure on colours. So get your fingers ready to type in the comments section, because we're going to need to know what your thoughts are. While we're warming up, just going to get a little bit of hair on this chap who's floating in the water, bit of a floater. Just get that done very quickly. And yeah, do let us know what you're working on tonight in the comments. Always good to find out what you're doing. There's been some great posts on the Facebook group, so thank you to everyone who's been getting involved. It's been absolutely brilliant. Good evening, Gabs. Nice floater indeed. Yeah, we're all over this one. We are having a great time so far. Right, I am intending this guy to be a pretty quick paint job. We'll whack some colours on him, and then we will get swiftly on to doing some washes on the water. I'm going to do a mixture of sort of this blue, probably blue and a green as well, just to give it a sort of a murky colour. That's the plan anyway. Cool. Right. Let that dry. His shoes are done. His hair is done. Work out what we're going to do for his clothing. I'm tempted with brown and a blue, or do I just go for the same color as this guy? So that's grey and a dark. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll do. Oh no, nothing tonight. Hobby night tomorrow. Sorry, just had a pop up. So nailing more planks together for the crane. Fantastic. Looking forward to seeing that. Should be a good one. Try and make it look like the water's covering up quite a lot of his clothing here, I think. I think that looks kind of good. So play around with that. Well, hopefully you're all having a good week. It is an absolute busy one for me, absolute manic. It's quite nice, to be quite honest, to make it to Wednesday night and to get a bit of a break. So yeah, right, really pleased to be here. I think that's looking all right. Yeah, deadline in 2.5 weeks. So right. Oh, I think you'll make that. Knowing you, Johan, you'll be all over that. Probably have a whole 2 weeks to spare. Right, what was I going for? Grey. Let's do some grey on the jacket. I do need to do a bit of flesh. That's a shame. I really thought I was going to get away without doing any flesh, but we're going to need some. So I'll just get some grey on this jacket. I'm actually going to tackle the grey afterwards with some Noon Oil wash from GW. Once we've done that, do I need a bit of blood, do we think, coming out the back? Is that a bit gory? Is that a bit funny? I don't know. What do we think? Blood coming out the knife wound or not? Not that I would know how to do blood effect other than some red, maybe a bit of crimson red. I don't know. Might have to do a poll. More like 2 days. Working on my very British Civil War ladies and other bits and pieces. Fantastic, Gabs. Looking forward to seeing those. Thanks for all your posts. It's been good to keep up with what's going on. Gab says, yeah, dark red knife wound. Yeah. Evening, Steve. We're just talking, do we need blood coming out of the knife wound or not? Is that too gory? Is that too detailed? Or do we think the blood would have washed away by the time that is in the in the back and in the water? Don't know. Good question. Steve says, congratulations. I assume you're talking about the 1,500 subscribers, so thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. Check is in the post. No, I'm only joking. Don't really have the don't get paid enough by YouTube to in fact don't get paid at all by YouTube, so but yeah, no, it's really appreciated, all of the support from everyone. So it's and I was saying to a friend of mine at work who does wargaming today, we were talking about it, and I said, considering it took me 10 years to get 1,000 subscribers, it's taken me about 6 months to do get an extra 500. So that is promising signs for the channel. Right, that's Steve's building ECW tonight. Fantastic. Looking forward to seeing them. I presume I'm going to go 15 mil or 28 mil. One of those two. Johan, only when the heart is still pumping. Yes, indeed. But that might be too much detail. Yeah, see, I think he's been dead a while, so I think we just want... I think we want the blade in the back. I don't think we want any blood, which would make it a lot easier for me. So that's what we're going to go for. Let's put a bit of dark brown on the handle. It's a proper good knife. In fact, probably it's not just the knife. Yeah, it's the hilt as well, isn't it? Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, that looks good. I think it's all right. He's voting. We're not gonna get to see a lot of that. Yeah, right. Perfect. Let's get a bit of base on the flesh, and then we're going to move it on to... I'm not even sure I'm going to do anything with the washes yet. I will save that for... Oh, that is way too much. Way too much paint, Carl. Way too much. It's enough for a whole army here. All I'm doing is his hand. Anyway, let's crack on. Let's keep going. Tempo is going to be fairly high tonight because I want to get on to the next bit of what I need to paint fairly rapidly. And for that, I'm going to ask for your help, because you find people as a community massively bail me out when I have no idea what I'm doing. And we're on to that tonight. So excellent. Right, where are we up to? Steve, 28 mil. Fantastic. Looking forward to seeing those. I assume Warlord figures or someone else. Johan says just a blade is fine. John Paul, hi all, just connected to you. Thanks for joining us, John. Lovely to see you. I believe this is your first live stream with us, so thanks for joining us. Do let us know what you're working on, and if you've got questions or comments, or just let us know how you're getting on. Absolutely, throw them down in the comments section. Right now, the crux of the dilemma tonight is, in fact, let's move these to the side because we're going to need a bit of space. I'm currently building. It's a bit of a secret, but you know how it goes. you come to the live stream, you get the behind the scenes information. So I'm building a low relief set of townhouses for Peaky Blinders, very British Civil War, that kind of interwar period. So the townhouses, I've got a frontage that I'm currently working on in card. Just to show you here, got some lovely brick paper, which I'm sticking to the card. Like so. Now the plan I've got is to use these MDF doors from war bases and windows. Whoa, that actually looks way too big. Shit. Well, anyway, right. Don't worry about that. I'll fix that. That's not a problem. And then these smaller ones for the downstairs. Now, the question is, what colour do I paint the doors? What colour do I paint the frames? And what colour do I paint the glass? Like, how do I do the glass effect? Because it's not something I'm overly confident with. So, comment suggestions in the comments, please, because I need to paint. I think I've got a pile. I think I've got 10 of each. And just to show you, I've got lovely piles of all these MDF elements. So that is the first part of what I need to get done tonight, because this is all so that I've got it ready to film the additional bits, possibly a bit tomorrow night, mostly Friday, and into the weekend if I need it. So that's that. Fantastic. We've already got some comments. Let's go to next one. Robert, don't worry, I won't tell anybody as it's a secret. Well, thank you, Robert. Much appreciated. I appreciate your detail, your commitment to secrecy. Right. Johan says white window and door frames, blue or green doors, windows black with gloss coat. Keep it simple. Do I on the windows paint it black and then what put like a blue or a grey kind of in like right angle L-shaped piece in the corner to like make it look like a reflection? Questions. And a doorknob. There is a doorknob. I will paint that. Not sure what colour. Add that with a hole punch and some card. I used to do that, but no longer bother. I haven't actually got a hole punch, so I'm not sure, and it is pretty small. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. I might just leave them flat. Oi, oi, J-Mac. Good to see you. Good to see you. Funny story, J-Mac, just before I go much further. So I tried watching your latest video, the, is it painting, like a beginner's painting guide to Urukai in 2 minutes. I was like, oh, that'd be great to watch this morning. Tried watching it, noting my 5-year-old was sat on the sofa watching TV, and I'm like watching, I'm like, ooh, yeah, I think we got maybe 5 seconds in where I was like, right, turn the volume down, don't want a little one hearing that. Quite amusing. I found it funny, not a criticism at all, but yeah. And I noted your comment about you hadn't made it 30 seconds in without swearing. I thought that was brilliant. So anyway, but great effort on the video. No, don't be sorry. No, I found it very, very amusing. Right, okay, just getting back to the doors. Various primary colours for each of the doors, maybe. Says Gabs. No excuses, I do that with every door. Oh, well, look, Johan, you are another level of terrain builder above me, so I'm not sure I'm going to do that right. Steve says, quick Google search says 1930s windows were painted dark green, deep red, burgundy, brown, or cream. As in for the frames, I presume. The dark green. Have I got a dark green? Oh, actually, that looks like a dark green. Wagger flesh. Sounds liquid, right? So we'll do dark green there. What else have we got? Deep red, burgundy. I've got. Ooh, let's check this one out. Cavalry brown. It's like a deep red. Happy with that. We'll do that. Brown or cream. linen. That looks slightly creamy. And brown. Chocolate brown. Chocolate brown sounds good. Yeah, let's do that. Right. So brilliant. Thanks for that, Steve. Johan says a small bead or a slice of a toothpick. We're still on those doorknobs, aren't we? Oh, this is going to be good. Right, from a distance, glass looks black. Excellent. So right, so I'll put black on the windows. That's easy enough. J-Max says, have you got an email? I'd love to paint some 2mm stuff for your MT game. Oh, that's very kind of you, J-Mac. Absolutely. I will. Trying to think. Trying to think which email to give you, because I've got like one for the channel, but I never check that, and I've got my personal one. So if you can ping me a message on Facebook, like via my page, I'll ping you an email back. I'll ping you a message back with my email. That would be great. Appreciate that. Right, Steve says yes, frames perfect. Johan, more of a light green than that. Dark Angels green would be better. Well, I haven't got Dark Angels. What I have, so I've got this one, which is a palm leaf green, which I use for my Rohan capes. See what else I've got here. Model. So that's a model color. That's a heavy black green. Feels a bit too heavy. I've got, in fact, green's probably the color I've got the most shades of. 50 shades of green. I've got camo bright green. That could be useful. Not sure how long it's been since I've used many of these. I've got a reflective green. Got loads of bottles of reflective green. My goodness. What's that one? I've got German uniform. Needs a good shape, that one. Right. So, okay, so we need a green to replace that one. We'll get to that. Guessing white wasn't used due to soot pollution. Well, that makes sense, actually. J-Matt says the Cav Brown would have been perfect for that. Yeah, I was thinking that actually when I watched your video. Save you having to mix it, but no, it's all good. Add some cream to the dark green. I hate adding colours. Right. I don't think the camo bright green is going to be the way to go. So, do you go for this green? JFC on a pogo stick. Not quite sure what that means. I think that green will work. Can you see that, guys? Trying to get it with the light. Problem is it's shadow, but anyway. I think we'll go for that one. The other green. As in this one? Oh, this feels very challenging, this. I apologise. I'm being a bit dense here. The other one is this heavy black green. I don't know what did you say it was called? A Dark Angels green? No, the darker green. Ah, right. So this one. Or this one. We're going to go Vallejo or Citadel. Vote in the comments. It feels like that episode of Friends where it's like, pivot. You know. We'll have an answer. Right. Vallejo. Gabs goes Vallejo. Any other votes? Oh, that dark green is extra opaque, I see. It is extra opaque. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I have no idea what that means, to be fair. Wow, I've lost it tonight, gents. Yeah, not doing well here. I don't even know what extra opaque means. Opaque's darker, isn't it? So it's a thicker colour. Okay. And I presume then what I want to do is I want to like mix up the colours. So if I've got 10 doors, I want, I don't know. Oh, hang on, we were talking window frames, weren't we? Extra opaque coats it very well. Well, I like that because this MDF I'm not convinced by. Right, so windows, I'm going to need to work out. I'm going to do 2 for each building. No, because it's only 1 for each building. Because it's 10 houses, but 5 doubles. Right, okay, here we go. Fun fact: exterior paint until modern paints could only be used by licensed painters and ingredients were slightly explosive. Fantastic. Right, we've got our green, we've got our red, we've got our brown, we've got our cream. Fantastic. Well done, team. We are smashing it. Right. So I'm going to go for a tall window, a skinny tall window, and a short, stubbier window each, and they're going to each be the colours. I've got 10, so I'm going to do, I don't know, we'll work out a pattern here. It's going to be fun. Oh, I can't wait. Right. Hang on, am I running? No, there we go. Yeah, right. That'll do. That'll do. Hang on. How have I done that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've got an extra one. Right. Didn't need that, apparently. Cool. Right. Now, door colours will be the other one, and we'll come back to that in a minute. Let's do some frames. Once we've got the frames done, we then can work on the glass once the frames are dry. So I reckon I'm going to start off with 2 sets of windows being brown. Let's get those painted in. Well done, team. This is brilliant. Loving the efforts. I'm really hoping we can get through these frames and windows pretty quick tonight. Certainly get them done by the end. I need the windows, the doors done. Now the second part of the challenge tonight is getting the pavements done. And I've got a plan for this. So I'm going to talk to you through the plan. So here's my pavements. MDF, lovely. I've sprayed in black. I had to spray them a lot, and I don't know whether it was the cold or what, but anyway. So my plan for it is with the black undercoat, and it's a very sort of bodgy black, which kind of works for a bit of grime. I'm planning then to use a dark grey and do a sort of circular dry brush around in circular motions, and that will go kind of in the center of each of the pavement slabs, as it were. Then the plan will be, once that's dry, to do a light grey dry brush, sort of more central inside the dark grey, so that we're getting progressively lighter. Then I'm going to use some what am I doing? Using some washes, so browns, greens, blacks, just to kind of dull all those colours down. So that is the plan. Now, I know I'm not going to get all of that done today. That will be a little bit. I'll get home tomorrow evening from my work engagement, and I smash that out tomorrow evening, or at least parts of that. So yeah, that's the plan. Can anybody see any problems with that plan? Because now is a great time to discover any problems in my plan. And I apologise for using and abusing the community, but you guys are awesome, and you've got a really good set of knowledge that I figure we'll tap into. And while you're thinking of that, I'm just going to take a quick drink. Ah, brilliant. Like that. Johan, really good comment. MDF sucks paint, but makes it easier for single colours. Very useful to know. And Gabs there says the pavements look good. I need to get something like that. Yeah, wall bases. It's a result. They do corner pieces as well, which I've got here. So not only have I done the buildings low relief, I've also done a low relief kind of retaining wall, which I'm going to put a pavement going underneath it, separate obviously, so things are easier to store. Right, we've got one set done. Let's get the next set done. I can feel this is going to be a painful painting night because it's got to be detailed, but I'm also trying to do this quickly. Robert says no worries. Gab's cool. Steve, seal MDF with watered down PVA first. Ah, Oh, weeds between slabs. I wondered about weeds and stuff like that because ultimately, like, it's very urban. We're talking like in the city here. I didn't know whether that would be such a thing, but I suppose that could be a thing. I was definitely going to go for the sort of green wash to give it that look as if it was getting sort of a bit mossy, kind of slippery, that sort of thing. Um, what was I thinking? I can't remember. Yeah, not sure I'm going to have an opportunity to seal with watered down PVA with this. Is it going to be an absolute deal breaker if I haven't done that, or can I get away with it in a sort of traditionally car-like bodged way? Uh, all right, we're getting some thoughts here. So, Johan says, "I never seal MDF, makes weathering much easier." Steve says, "Yes, seal it." And then Johan says, "Don't seal it." So I think the jury is out. We've got a hung parliament or a hung jury on this one. So I think because of time constraints and my laziness, I think I'm not going to seal it. We'll see how that goes in the future. In due course, if it goes terribly wrong, Steve, you were right. I apologise now for not listening to you. But I will keep my fingers crossed that it's going to work without sealing it. Right, that is the brown windows done. I think I'm going to do a third one of those uh, because I would imagine brown's a fairly common colour. So let's do a third set of those. That'll just help the whole getting these all done. So basically, two of these colours I can do three, and two of these colours I need to do two. So I need to work out which is going to be which. Quite like the idea of doing three of the green, and then probably two of the cream and two of the red. But I do like the idea of the dark red. It's a nice touch. And then we're going to come on to the question of doors. Well, what colour are the doors without the doorknobs? I mean, we can paint the doorknobs on, but I'm not cutting them out for the same reason I'm not sealing time and effort. Now, what I am going to do is put some card and paint it a grey kind of concrete colour for the lintels because I appreciate that doing that will give it a bit of 3D, a bit of pop. So that's hopefully going to make it look a little less flat as a building. I'm also going to do some roofs, put some chimneys on as well. So, but the idea is that this is a quicker process than building the whole building. So I'm trying to keep to that kind of way of thinking. However, if it turns out that it's not, then we'll see. But I do need to build some full buildings for uh, my table as well. But I think I'm going to build them in a similar way. So a foam board structure covered in uh, brick paper, and we'll just do it that way. And I'll use these MDF windows and doors because I think that'd be really easy. Right, brown is done. What were we doing? Three of next. We'll do the green. So yeah, there's a good shake because I've not used it in a while. Right, Johan says, I got the Sarissa Ruin Street due for delivery this Friday. Thinking of making it very British Civil War, suitable as well, not just Europe. Love it. Absolutely love that idea. Right, this opaque stuff is coming out a bit blodgy, but hopefully that's going to be enough. Brilliant. Right. Lovely. Right. Let's see what we've got with this. Oh, that's a nice green. Yeah, like it. Don't know how much you can see it because of the cutting mat being green, but that is working rather nice. You guys are stars, winners, the lot of you. Right. We seem to have this week. And I know I usually talk about the week's video that's come out on Sunday and how that's getting on. This week's Lardy Day video, very popular so far. We're just coming up to sort of about 500 views in about 3 or 4 days. So that is very impressive, rather encouraging. So thank you to everyone who has watched. Very much appreciated. Green does seem to be drying subtly. It's not holding its green. I just hope I don't have to do another coat. But we'll have a look at that. Slightly worried about this. This green is not. No. Is that? Oh, is that one screen? Right. That one there, I've just painted. And it is not very bright. Right. Sorry. Let me catch up. Sounds like a good plan, Robert says. Magnetize a few of the signs, that sort of thing. That's not a bad idea, is it? Robert says it was a great video. Thanks, Robert. Appreciate that. Johan, then try the lighter one. Steve says patience. Steve, you are wise. You're like the Jedi Master, just wise. All right, let's finish off the screen. Let's go with Steve's wise words. I'll finish painting these green, and then we'll see how we go. If needs be, we can always throw the lighter green over the top. But there we go. It's not as bright as the brown, but sort of to be expected, I guess. And I don't know with the window whether having that blue accent in the corner to make it look like there's a reflection would help the frame to pop a bit more. Don't know. Oh, we're living and learning. Every day is a school day, as they say. Lovely. Right, there's another one. I mean, it's not bad. It's a nice, subtle light grey, very light grey, actually, once it's dried. But I don't know whether it's too subtle for being in the building. It might stand out against the brown bricks, actually. Right, let's wait for it to dry. Yeah, we'll do, Steve. I mean, it's drying ridiculously fast. It looks like it anyway, which is encouraging. Right, there's set number 2. Let's do set number 3. Lovely. I'm not quite sure why I bought this paint. I can't remember. I think it might have been because I thought it was a good colour match for a Southern Railway green. So I was going to paint the boards for the signage on my train station that was building a model railway. I painted them with this green, and actually they worked really well for Southern green. Got this visions of Steve going, wait for it, wait for it. They are coming out really nice, to be fair. But it is a really subtle green. So it's a really nice green, I think. But yeah, just very subtle. Um, we'll just finish this one off. Uh, Johan says you can put one of the windows against the paper to check. Good idea. We'll wait for it to dry as per the instructions, rightfully laid out by Steve. And then we'll do that subtle. We'll do that little check, see if it's too subtle. So yeah, really, really good there. Right, next up, Steve says, I remember a neighbour when I was young, 40 years ago, had an interwar semi with dark green frames. I seem to remember a tealish front door. Yes, I'm the type of person who remembers these things. Not too bad. Not a bad thing. The green don't look too bad from here, says Robert. Would the letterboxes in the door, if any, be brass? Would they be brass? It's a good question, because of course, I guess there's a question of like um, the economic situation of the people that lived in those areas. That's a really good question. I mean, I would have thought yes, but then what's the cost of brass back then? I don't know. Maybe not. Would it have just been a hole in the door? Would there have been? Can't imagine it would have been a wooden letterbox, but I don't know. Not sure. Really good question though. Really good question. One to think about, because I have got letterboxes on these doors. I mean, part of me thinks I need to just go back and watch an episode or two of Peaky Blinders in the first series and see what it looked like. But yeah, liking these cream window frames. They stand out really well. Lovely. Yeah, really nice that. Oh, let's pop that over there. Make sure you guys can see it. Probably cheap tin, depending where you lived. It's not a bad idea. Yeah, bad thought. Yeah, tin. Tin probably would have been cheaper, to be honest. I'm not sure whether they use tin for other forms of metal as well, just as a cheaper alternative to brass, or because like stainless steel. I, I can't imagine that was a thing back then, but it's probably one of those things I should have read up a little bit more on before I started working on it. But you know how it goes. You get the idea, you rush to do the idea before it becomes a new idea, and you move on to another project, and it doesn't really leave a lot of time for the whole research side of things. Right, liking these. Those green windows. I think once I get the black for the glass sort of fairly solid, fairly good, then I think the frames might pop a little bit more. At the moment, it looks a little bit grainy because of the MDF and whatnot. Lovely. Right. What is the time? Oh, 20 to 9 already. My goodness, where has that time gone? I've been a bit slow today. Although I feel like I'm absolutely rushing around here, trying to get these painted. So I'm only rushing because I just want to make as good a use of this time as possible, and get stuff done so that when it comes to either Thursday evening or Friday afternoon, I can just crack on with the filming the next bits. Cool, right. And on to the next one, which is the red, which I'm really looking forward to paint. This is going to be looking rather nice. Steve's been posting it in the Miniature Battlefields Facebook community page, and that's a great reminder. Thank you, Steve. We have the community page, so if you want to join that, please do. Um, right, Steve says just dropped reference pics in Facebook group. Brilliant, thank you. Definitely brass, so that's good. I can put some brass paint on those. Might even use my Sharpie markers to make it really quick. Two was only for plating seal. Oh, brilliant! That's good to know. JMac, don't worry. Internet it comes and goes everywhere. So yeah, don't worry. I appreciate you trying to be with us. That's very kind. Let's move on. Johan says, "Lovely door." That's Steve. I shall have a look at that. Steel even time flies when you paint a house. Absolutely does. Shall we scare him by suggesting Art Deco stained glass? You lot would as well. Right, Johan says you can buy that stuff printed. Fortunately, just cutting out everything is a hassle, even as transparencies if you are nuts enough. Oh, in terms of the stained glass, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing that. Ooh, thank you, thank you. Right, okay, let's get this cavalry brown, I think it is, onto these windows. Lovely, look at that. Brilliant colour. Liking that. Looks like Urukai flesh. Oh, sorry, JMac. Didn't mean to rub that in. Lovely. Fantastic. Yeah, no, absolutely. Sorry, going back to my reference. So, yeah, if you are enjoying this, you want to share what you are up to on your days when you're doing hobby stuff or what you've been working on project wise, games that you've been doing, or if you've got questions you want to ask the Hive Mind, then do pop over, check out T's Miniature Battlefields Community, which is the name of the Facebook group for this YouTube channel. And yeah, we'd love to have you. It's been really positive so far. We've got currently Gab's idea to have a very British Civil War painting challenge. The only challenge is, can you get stuff painted? Really, and people are. So yeah, definitely, if you want to join that, doesn't have to be specific figures, but anything that really fits in that very British Civil War, so 1938 period. Then drop us a picture and a post as to what you're up to. And yeah, I think I've put a post up which sort of introduced the painting challenge. I've got a little hashtag there you can add to it if hashtags are still a thing. Maybe I'm old and they're not really a thing anymore, but they used to be a thing to tag things, so you could search for that and get any posts that use them. But yeah, anyway, do all that good stuff if you like. If you don't, no worries, not a problem. Right. Yep, cool. Gab's got a laugh at the Art Deco stained windows. Yeah, it's all going well. I don't think the the poor people who will be living in my houses will be able to afford stained glass windows. So I think they'll just have to put up with just regular windows, single pane. They'll be lucky if they're not broken. So yeah, that's the sort of community that is going to be living in my uh, townhouses, terrace houses. Probably terrace houses. I'm never sure what the difference is between terraced and townhouses. I think townhouses tend to be taller, so they're like 3 levels, ground first and second, whereas I think terrace houses are just the two, ground floor and first floor. The ones that I'm building are essentially 2 ups, 2 downs, so two rooms up and 2 rooms down. I'm liking the green. It's nice and subtle, bit of a change. It also doesn't shout. We've got money to paint this sort of kind of faded paint job, so I think we're going to stick with that. So well done. Thank you, Steve, for telling me to be patient and to wait for it to dry. I think that was a good call. Right, how are we doing? I think we are nearly there on the last window frame, and then we're going to need to talk doors. But if you've put some reference material up, that'll be super helpful. And I probably don't necessarily need to rush to get them done this evening, but it's always good to run ideas past you guys. In terms of the glass, we need to think about that. So recommendation is black paint. And then, do I need to be putting the accents in the corners to show reflection of glass? And if the answer is yes, the next question is, where do I put them? Do I, opposite corners? Do I put just one corner? Do I do it on both panes? Lots of questions there. So, right, done all that. The next bit, I think, is probably actually to paint some colours, the tops of the door frames around the window that matches the frames of the windows I've already done. That makes sense to me. I guess the only question is, would the frame at the top there be the same as the window, or would we do a different colour? And I'm going to paint the whole thing. Yeah. Let me just see. I've got a brass. No, I've got a bronze. That'll do. Let's just do a quick little test. Yeah, like that. The Sharpie pen is absolutely going to come out for the let boxes. Quick to do, nice detail. Brass doorknobs or wooden doorknobs? Steve says in Huddersfield they still have some back-to-back terrace houses. Each were 2 rooms with toilet block in the courtyard. Yeah, so when I do my actual terrace house full builds, I am planning on doing some walled back gardens with some toilet. I don't know whether to do a toilet block or an outhouse in each garden. That's the question I would have. But the toilet bloke would be something completely different. Yeah, that's a bit dodgy, isn't it? More of a Dutch thing, that. Ooh, what's the Dutch bit? Is that the toilet bloke or the toilet block? Go with the brass doorknobs. It looks cool. Yeah, yeah. Reminds me of Bedknobs and Broomsticks. That, but that is one of my favourite Disney films. Love it when she beats the Germans with an army of like museum pieces. And you get some English Civil War. I think you get some. Trying to think of the other kind of bits you get in that film. I think there's Highlanders. I think there is American Revolutionary soldiers. Definitely some knights in armor. Yeah, that's such a great film. Love that. Anyway, right. Toilet bloke. Though the older houses here, the cheaper ones, had an outside or a small room at the end of the house for the toilet. Excellent way to freeze your ass off in the winter. Yeah, it's why they had chamber pots, isn't it? So you didn't have to go outside uh, when you woke up in the middle of the night needing the toilet. You could just use your chamber pot um, to go. Yeah, I'm so glad we have internal toilets these days. I mean, I guess like when that's all you knew, you just got on and did it, didn't you? It wasn't a big drama. But now that we know there's something better, that's always the problem, isn't it? When you know there's something better, what you have doesn't always feel as great. Right. Okay. We're doing well here. I think we're doing the letter boxes. They're looking good. Next thing we need to do, probably the frames of the windows above the doors. And the question is, are the doors going to be the same color as the frames? Which means that the windows and doors match. Or do we make it look really kind of yeah, agreed, Robert. Yeah, do we do the frames the same colors as the doors, or do we do odd colors just to kind of give a more like rough look to it, sort of a poorer area? Because one of these houses might be where the Thompson twins grew up, or maybe even where they live now. Oof, we don't know. That will be part of the story that will come to life. One thing I will say, we'll just hold it up. So I've got the massive sort of piece of card I'm gonna have a lot of houses joined on here, but I've done this sort of alleyway, sort of go underneath one of the houses, and I thought, wouldn't it look great to see these guys carrying this body off down the alleyway? I think that's going to look great. So I'm really excited to do some pictures around that. And if I can stop dropping those figures, there's a chance they might stay on the base. But yeah, right. Let's put that back because we don't need that. Right. It is 10-2. Go dark red. Nice bit of colour theory. Dark red. What, for the doors? Sorry, Steve. I'm just being a bit dense tonight. Dark red for the doors. The other problem is I'm not sure I've got a dark red. So, or have I? What's that one? Mechrite red. That's an old Foundry Foundation. Sorry, Citadel paint that. Part of me kind of wants to do the door to match the windows. Yeah, for the door, rather than do them all red. I assume they would be different colours, and I did look at this box here, which to look at the artwork in the back. You can't really see the doors, which is a pain in the backside. So yeah, that's why I've come to you for help, because I'm just lost as to what colours to do the doors. I mean, if I did it the same colour as the window frames, I mean, that might look all right, I guess. Oh, those are actually laser cut so they could come out the door handles, doorknobs. I'm just going to paint them, I'm going to colour them in bronze. Love a sharper pen, so quick for painting. I'd match doors and windows personally. Nice thought, Gabs. Yeah, I could see that, and I think in some ways it gives me an element of simplicity. Would look quite good as a street. I don't know. I don't want to think like what would I do because we live in a different time than they did, and what their priorities are, what our priorities are, and what theirs were. I think in many ways quite different. So, but yeah, should we just match them? It just seems a lot more sensible, doesn't it? Cool. And then the only thing I need to do is then the glass panel in the top of the door. So let's do that. Let's start off with the brown. Um, right, so I need 3 of these. Let's do. I guess we could do that bit as well. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get all these done tonight, but we can make a start, and that is a little bit less than I have to do next time I pick up the paintbrush and come into the hobby room. I think you're going to have to watch Peaky Blinders to make your mind up, Robert. I think you've got a great plan there. I think you're very right there. Yeah, it's not like I've already watched it once, but it's always worth watching again, isn't it? And if I can leave the sort of the cuts between the panels black, that'll just give it a bit of depth. Hopefully, that'll just allow me to have some depth into the piece. Hopefully, even if we just get one of these done, I think that would just be enough to be able to make a decision. Does it look right? Are we happy with it? Uh, the slight issue is I've got to get all this painted before I can add it. So if I add it to the build before we've got all that, then it's going to be harder to paint without getting the paper brick all done. I've got to work out how I'm going to paint the concrete pieces. So I'm just going to use bits of card. I was hoping I had some texture paper which was concrete color, but unfortunately I don't. That did not come in the Sarissa texture paper pack that I bought. It's a bit disappointing, really. Concrete is a good color. Yeah, right. Let's keep going. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. Cool. We are getting there. We're winning. Hopefully this. Oh no! Of course, I've gone back to painting in the corner closest to me, which means you guys can't see it. And nobody shouted, "We can't see you, Plonker." So thank you for that. Very kind. Considering my feelings there. Lovely, lovely, jubbly. Cool. Right. That is that. Lovely. Right. I think this is looking quite good, especially like leaving the bits between each of these different panels black. It is definitely making it sort of pop a little bit more. So I'm glad I didn't just sort of spray these a brown colour. That would have been pretty poor. Right. We're getting there. We are getting there. Right, cool. Comments are still there. So, what have I got coming up this Sunday? This Sunday, we've got a battle report video coming out. So, be sure to check that out. That will be landing on the channel, not usual time of 6 o'clock on Sunday. And then, all being well, and I can get all of this done, I will be getting the video out on making this low relief terrain the following Sunday. After that, we'll round off the month with another episode of Batch of the Day. So do keep your eyes peeled for that. And we'll be visiting what I've got up to this month and what we're looking forward to, work in progress, next month. I haven't had my backers order in yet, so a bit disappointed about that, but I have been told it can take a month. So yeah, it's just a bit of a shame, but there we go. Is what it is. Right. Fantastic. Well, we've hit 9 o'clock. We've been going an hour. I'm worried I just don't have much to show for it, which is a bit frustrating. But I think I now have a good idea what I'm doing color-wise for my windows and for the doors. So that's really good. I'm going to do the black for the windows. Not sure on the accent. Just need to get some ideas, and I will probably either poke. I'll probably poke Johan afterwards and get his opinion on when we do the accents or not. So yeah, so that's that. Excellent. Thank you, Robert. Much appreciated. Watching my videos as always. The support is always much appreciated. So thank you for that. What else is going on? Trying to think what else I'm up to. I'm not going to be going to a Beachhead show this weekend. I've just been so busy this week. I think if I then took a day out and went to Bournemouth, I would probably be shot. I'd love to be able to take the little one, but yeah, I'm not sure I can. I don't think she'll be interested enough to stick it out, and she'd ultimately get bored after 5 minutes, and then So not sure we're going to be doing that, which is a bit shame because it would be nice to do a video on that, but and I've never actually been to Entoyment or Beachhead the show, so might have to try and get there next year. And of course I have just picked up some washes to try and get some of this done because I'm like that. But yeah, I think this is working quite nicely. And the detail on the base is quite good. It's not just flat, it's textured. So yeah, that's working quite nicely. I think I'll put some green wash on this afterwards. That'll work really nicely. The wash is bringing out the texture on the base really nicely, getting into those recesses, making some nice dark blues, which is what we want. Some murky water. Lovely. Sorry, guys. I said I wasn't going to go much longer, but I've just gone. Oh yeah, this would be fun. So we're just going to go with it for a little minute here. We'll get some. Yeah, liking that. That's rather nice. Not sure if you can see that. Let's go a bit closer. Quite liking how that's coming out. I think that's what I needed. Just a little bit of a change of what I was doing. Right. Well, Johan says try it out on a piece of card. Really good plan. Like that. Steve says still waiting for my backers order as well. Oh, do you know when did you order that? Because I must have ordered mine middle of January, I think. And Johan, he says he's dead. I think you should be a doctor because I think you're right. He is looking rather dead. What other things do I need to wash? I need a black wash on his suit jacket, the knife, and I need some. I want to do some highlights on the flesh. Let's just very quickly do that now, I think. Lovely. He is dead. Dead as a doornail. Is that right? Is that flat flesh? Yeah, okay. I mean, that is a fat finger. Like, he looks like his fingers have swelled up something horrible. I'm going to let that dry. The only other thing I could do, I suppose, is add a bit of green into the blue wash that's already there. About 3rd of Jan. Wow. Gee, I think you've been waiting longer than me. Yeah, I kind of like the green, actually. Does make it a little bit murkier. Yeah, liking that. That's really starting to... Yeah, like that. I was going to say, he's been found in the Thames, but the problem is the Thames is nowhere near Gosport. So, obviously, maybe the River Alva, which is a river near here, or the creek, Hasler Creek, that's flowing out into the harbour. That's always a good one, like that. Yeah, like this. This is good. I'm having fun with this. Oh, this is dangerous. Right, I could stay at this all evening. Right, let's put that one away before I do. Fast floater then. He is a fast floater, yeah. I'll let that dry before I do any more washes on that. I'm going to do another highlight on the skin. Then I'll wash that as well. Lots of washes still to go on that. Right, good. Just very quickly, while I've got you here, obviously, if you need to go, you feel free to go. But while you're here, and if you're still interested, I'm going to do a very quick attempt on a... Oh, I've actually got enough space here. Yeah, right. I think we got enough space. I'm going to do a quick dry brush test on this to see if it's going to work like I think it's going to work. Because if it's not, yeah, then it should cost each in order. Talking to Peter once, he said some people send a few hundred in one order. Well, I don't know the size of Peter's team. Not really that well. Like I don't. Yeah, I don't know what his setup is like. But what I will say is, like, I found with Great Escape Games, I don't know how many people is in that either, but like I can order something from them, and it's here sort of 24 hours later, and it feels a little bit to me like I don't know, a back is just could they learn from other companies? Is it? I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, which is quite possible, but does seem really odd that one company seems to be able to get orders in and knock them out within 24 hours, and yet another company is taking a month to deliver Is there a better technique that they could be taking on? Like, I mean, because all the stuff that people are ordering, it's not custom stuff. It's all on the in the catalog. So surely they've got those figures cast up ready, and they're just taking them out of their storage racks. And oh, that was a bit heavy. And just putting them in the shopping cart. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm not going to try to teach people how to suck eggs. It's a bit frustrating that you put an order in, you have to wait so long. Because I was thinking about this, like, oh, they've got about 6 people. Okay. I was just thinking, like, I really had this momentum of doing my 6mm Napoleonics, and like, I haven't lost it. I'm still absolutely on, but I have lost a little bit of momentum. Like, it is frustrating because I've had to sort of wait, and maybe it's my own fault. I should have ordered the next lot before I'd finished the lot that I had. But in some ways, trying to avoid that, because I don't want to have a huge backlog that I end up going, oh, I can't do it because it's too much, it's overwhelming. What do we think to that, guys? Do we think that's starting to, yeah, yeah, no, that's fair, Steve. Steve says I don't stress. It's not like I don't have anything to paint. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, obviously, I found stuff to paint, so it's not a massive deal. Everything's cast to order. Okay, that's fair. I guess if that's the way they choose to do it, that's the way they choose to do it, isn't it? Gab says, Oathsworn minis are really quick with their orders when I get Burrows and Badger minis. Yeah, Johan says backlog. Attic, you mean? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It is what it is, I guess. We can't do much about it. I like their figures, so, what's the alternative? Go somewhere else, get some other figures that I don't like as much. Well, I guess I could do that, but I do like them, so I guess I'm gonna just have to put up with that. I mean, the other option, and I've considered this. I spoke to my friend Mark about it. Is actually, now I'm invested in the project, and I know I definitely want to do it. I mean, the cheaper option, and I guess the more sensible long term, so that I've got the figures, is to actually buy one of their bigger army packs for like 50 quid, and that will give me enough figures probably for 6 months worth of painting. It's just a bigger part to get through, and as long as I'm motivated to do it, it shouldn't be a problem. But Gab says pavement is looking good. Thank you very much. See, it's like the olden days, sending off a postal order. Yeah, Steve. I didn't really do a huge amount of that, but I think for the ones that I did, yeah, I'm really glad that we aren't in those days anymore. Yeah, thanks for the feedback, Gabs. I think I quite like how that's going. It's giving me the effect I want, and I'm not even sure I need an additional lighter dry brush over the top. Not sure if the inks are going to make much difference in terms of ink wash, giving it green and browns. I don't know. I might experiment with that, but I think this is doing the job, and it's going to give me the effect that I want. Which means I can crack on with this in the days to come, and that will get me over the line with the pavement. I think I'm happy with that. Really easy techniques as well. I think I can do some a little bit brighter, a little bit more subtle. Yeah, what? Mark is a wise man. It was my idea to buy the bigger army pack. and we kind of debated both sides of it. You know, we said, you know, it does mean that I've got more in the paint. You know, and originally my plan was, look, buy a few units, paint a few units. Once I've done those, buy some more, and it's sensible. It means that I don't get sucked in, and I don't have a huge lead pile that A becomes demoralising, and B, I guess, you know, I'm completing some, and then my reward for completing that is to get some more. I think the biggest problem with that is, though, it is a little bit more expensive, because you're paying all the extra postage for all the separate orders. The army packs work out a little bit cheaper, and then of course you don't have to wait for them to do the order and stuff like that. So yeah, I think the next time I go to order something, it's going to be an army pack. It's probably going to be the French army pack. I think I'll continue with the British as I am, unless I can actually. I'll look at my army list and I'll work out what I need left, and then work out whether an army pack will do that for me. Right, I really do need to stop. Although I'm very keen to get this bit of pavement done. I actually need to go and iron a shirt for work for tomorrow, because I've got to be up stupidly early at about 5:30. I think I need to be up so I can be in work for 7:30. I've got to leave. I'm going to leave. Whoa, what time do I leave? 10 past 7, something like that. Get in there for 8:30. So I'm doing my brief at 7:45. It's going to be a long day tomorrow. So yeah, I do need to stop, but I really want to get this bit of pavement done. So I'm just going to press on quickly and see if I can get this done in 5 minutes. But thanks for sticking with me, guys. Much appreciated as always. Thanks for all the advice, the tips, the help. Absolutely knocking it out of the park tonight. And you know, when I do this video and I finish it up, I will be absolutely singing your guys' praises. The community is amazing, live, well, and kicking, and absolutely getting me through my hobby projects, kicking and screaming at times. But yeah, you guys have been absolute stars. Really, really appreciate it. So, as I say, up next on Sunday, we've got the next video. It's a battle report. Do check that out. Not for everybody, I know. You probably can work out what that is, but you know, it's me rolling some dice. Doesn't happen all that often. And getting it on film is even more rare. So, you know, be a nice one to be able to get out. Scenario 2 of my campaign against Vantari's campaign. So that'll be exciting. And then, yeah, next Wednesday I should be back for live stream. I don't see any reason why not. Robert says, you're lucky I have to be up at the same time to look after the grandchildren for school. Bless you. Yeah, my wife is getting the short end of the stick this week because she is having to do the school runs. Next week I'll be on 4 school runs, though, just to make up for it. But yeah, this week's been a bit rough. It's just been super busy at work. Big, important conference tomorrow and Friday. So yeah, I get the fun of that. And all the stuff I've been doing in the preparation for it as well. It's been pretty busy, even up to today, like getting stuff and going, hang on, last minute, you can't do this. Oh, no, we've got to do that. So, you know, make it happen. So, yeah, that's the fun I'm having. But anyway, we're getting away from the hobby, which is the important bit about this evening. Really, really happy with these. Oh, I'm super happy with that. Yeah. Lovely. Right. Yeah, can we get done before 20 past? I think we can. Before I fall asleep. I've still got to iron a shirt. Iron a shirt shouldn't take long. Cool. Anything else I've forgotten? Anything else need to be saying. Keep posting in the Facebook group if you are. Thanks, I should say thanks to Steve for posting that reference material. I will have a look at that when I've finished ironing my shirt before I hit the sack. So that's, really appreciate that. And yeah, back for another live stream next Wednesday. I'll be posting that up hopefully next Monday or Tuesday. And really, really pleased with this. This looks like how I wanted it to. Super duper. Right. Last little bit. Brilliant. Right. What do we think, guys? Robert says it's looking good. Must be looking good then. Super duper. Right. I am going to call it at that. It's been an absolute pleasure tonight, as always. Really, really grateful for all of your help. Thank you ever so much. I hope you have a great rest of the week. If you are going to a war game show this weekend, have a great time. If you're going to Beachhead, let me know what it was like, because I am looking forward to hearing back about that one. I will be posting pictures, so as I make my progress on this project, I'll put those up in the into the Facebook group. We'll go from there. So went quick today. It does, Gabs. It always seems to go quick, but that is part of the joy, I think, of these sessions. So have a great rest of your week. Take care. Stay safe, and we'll see you next Wednesday for another live stream. Take care, all.